What is up, everybody? This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com, and I'm here with my beat brother, Mr. Bryce, also known as at Upright.music, and we're the Beat Brothers.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it going?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything from them, but
well,
you guys got to be a
I
little
was,
louder.
I was asking you how it was going. How's it
Oh,
going?
oh,
No, I'm just kidding. I was asking them.
so
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well. We were gonna talk today about the should Spotify should us as musicians, should we even try Spotify? Is it worth it? There's a lot of controversy with that, but that, and then plus our own experiences, since we're new to the Spotify world and everything.
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
so
Yep.
in the past couple weeks, if you guys watched the last video, we did a challenge with each other, trying to get a song up on Spotify, and then we continued that challenge this week as well with another song. Um, how did that process go for you for the first one, Bryce?
Man, I was late, so we challenged each other to get it done by a specific time. I was late on mine. I didn't get mine done until probably. So I think what we wanted to get it done by the show, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. So I
Yep.
ended up uploading it Thursday, that Thursday. Um, but I think for me the biggest thing is because once you post that track on Spotify, like it's up there. So
Yeah.
the problem for me, I was going through a lot of like, oh man, is the mix right? Do I want to change something? So I would listen to my track and then I'd think, man, that needs to come down a couple dB. And then I'd listen and I'd like to change the arrangement. And I went through that like three times, and then I finally said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to just upload it. Yeah. So that's pretty much how it went for me.
A little bit of Spotify cold feet, or
Yeah. Yeah. I guess
maybe
that's a good way to
you
put it.
just want it to be right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just wanting it to be right. Getting a song out in a weekend is a tall order.
It is. It is. It is. It's a good challenge for sure, though.
And
Because it
for me,
keeps you
I feel like you still really succeeded because you've got a song
right.
going, and it's
Yeah.
not live yet, but it's up there.
Yeah. So the reason why it's not live is because I did, and that's something we can touch on. But I did. I did. They recommend you wait a week, at least minimum. So for those people out there that have never uploaded anything to Spotify, I like to refer to it as now you're playing with the big boys. So one of the things they recommend is, you know, at least wait, kind of project the track to release a week, later than you're actually uploading it. So that way, you can get a chance to maybe a playlist catch your track.
Hmm.
So, and some videos I've watched, they actually recommend even more than that, 4 to 6 weeks um, delay. So basically you throw it into DistroKid or whatever you're using, and it kind of gets pushed out. This is the way I understand it. It kind of gets pushed out to all these different, platforms and stuff, and so people can see it. Oh, this guy's releasing this track at this date. I don't even know how the back end of this works, but I'm assuming it's something like that. So people can look at your track and say, okay, this track's coming out, and maybe they even have access to listen to it. I don't know, but so yeah, so that's how my first upload went. I waited the week, even though we were challenging each other to do it by a certain time. I figured, you know what, I'm already 4 days late now. I might as well just wait that extra week. So
Well, I mean, the thing is too is like this whole challenge started by, you talking about, the idea of doing singles, and me responding, what I heard from Gary Vaynerchuk, which is, if you have new information, change. Nothing wrong with changing your mind and
right,
rerouting.
right.
And same thing here. It's like, yeah, we made a challenge to do it in a weekend, but at the same
Mhm.
time, you learn some stuff and you realize how you actually wanted to approach it was a little bit different. So
Yeah, and that's
nothing wrong
exactly
with
it.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I probably if had I made the deadline, so we wanted to do it by Sunday. Had I, been uploading Sunday, I would have probably just uploaded it. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
probably, I'm assuming the track is probably better for it, anyways. I know I heard it already, and I love it. It's really
Oh,
cool.
appreciate
Um,
it. Appreciate it. Yeah.
and yeah, I'm now I'm looking forward to hear the new one. What's how'd this week go so far? Where are you at with that track?
This week is coming along really good. We extended the challenge this week to a friend of ours. So, we're all in a group chat. So we were talking about it, and he got his track basically done, and he shared it with us. And there's a snippet of his track that's actually something that I was going to use too. So I was like, oh man, I can't use that now. So I'm kind of rethinking a portion of my track right now. But as far as the track, the idea is there. I just have to flush it out and do a couple things. But yeah, it went good. It went good from Friday
Awesome.
night to today. I got to say it went well. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know from what you've been saying that you've been making good progress on it and stuff, and
Yeah.
so I'm just looking forward to it because I know it's going to be good. I don't even have to. I don't think I've ever heard a Bryce track I didn't like. So
Oh man. So how about
um,
you though? How about you? How'd it go for you last week and this week? Talk about a little bit about your experience.
yeah, well, my philosophy tends to be, shoot first, aim later. So so I got it done. I threw it up on Spotify. Uh, and that was the first one, and that came out good. The thing that was really the kind of challenge for me, I guess, was the mixing aspect, which again was kind of a challenge this week, but this week is a whole different story.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I got it up. I really had fun like making the album cover art and just making the track and the mixing part. I learned some stuff. And then getting it up on Spotify was a little tricky though because it wouldn't accept my files, it wouldn't accept the album art, it wouldn't accept the
Yeah.
music. And what I found out was I was trying to do it from my iPad, which they don't allow mobile uploads.
Oh,
So
okay.
so that's where I was screwing up. So I finally
Okay.
did it on the laptop, and it
Everything
went
went
through
cool.
fine. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, the track's up there. If you look up Planet Plex on Spotify, you'll find it. There's only one song so far. Hopefully, there'll be another one soon. And yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to see stuff I made up there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
And
know.
I guess that kind of leads me to, well, and I guess you could talk a little bit about your track this week, but I wanted to kind of jump in there because Spotify, what does it like mean to you? Like, so for me, I really want to, get my music out to as many people as possible and use the platform as best, I can to do that. Um, I know for you, it may be a little different, or I haven't really picked your brain on that exactly, but I know our approaches have been a little different as far as uploading and our thoughts towards that. So, um, just wanted to
Yeah.
kind of get your ideas on that.
Well, so kind of the way it all ended up happening was Bryce and the one of the guys in the group was looking at some YouTube videos on Spotify, strategies and things like that, because of course you should get to know what you're doing and all that. And you guys got a lot of good tips from there. I still have yet to watch those videos. Usually they send me a video like that, I'm on top of it like quick,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
right away.
Yeah.
But it was a crazy work week at
Mm.
my day job, and it just didn't hit me in the right time, at the
Gotcha.
right time. So I still haven't watched those videos. I do want to,
Hmm.
but so I don't have the perspective that you guys have on strategies and stuff. All I have really is kind of intuition from using other platforms.
Hmm.
Um, but I already heard some things you guys were saying, which was stuff that I was like, oh, okay, I wouldn't have thought of doing it that way. So,
Right.
for me, it's just like, upload as often as you can, as much as you can. But
Hmm.
it sounds like there's other things to do that would make it a little bit better. I guess you guys are emphasizing this playlist thing and everything, which, um, I'm kind of new to Spotify as it is. I listen to music on YouTube, but
Hmm.
now I'm starting to listen to it more on Spotify because
Mm.
I want to get to know the platform that everybody listens to music on.
Right.
But my view, to me, like, so we kind of titled this, is it even worth it, for
Right.
musicians to put their music up on Spotify, because there is a lot of controversy, and the controversy basically is, artists aren't getting paid, and unless you're like super big name artists, and even that I don't think are getting paid what they expected to get when
Hmm.
when they decided to get into music. I guess, I don't know, but like, so there's all these things about the algorithm and all that stuff, and so there's a lot of people who are very critical about doing stuff on Spotify. But to me, and to the point where some people are taking their music off of Spotify, they're like boycotting it, this and that. And I think, to me, I kind of look at that and I'm like, really? Are you serious? Because, like, to me, people who create music and art, I mean, I've been in this world for my whole life, and I know my people, and that those people are creative people. Like, I know we don't get into this because we want to make money. Like, if that was the case, we would have became a lawyer or something. Like, it's we're not trying. Most people are not getting into this because they think this is like a great way to make money. Um, of course, if you're super famous, you're gonna make crazy money, but eventually, if you get past your first couple albums.
Hmm.
But to me, Spotify, it's like, why would you not put music in the place where like, if you want to share your music to the world, why would you not put it in the place where most people listen to music?
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
might not find you, but if you can, make it easy for people, and don't take your stuff out. I mean, it's a personal decision, but
Sure.
to me, like, yes, I would love to make a living off of this stuff and make
Hmm.
money, but Spotify is its own platform. They don't owe you anything, you know? I
Right.
mean, you do pay money to get your stuff up on there, but I mean, how much money you pay, you know, it's not that much, So it's like, they don't really owe you anything, So I don't know. Maybe other people don't look at it that way, but that's kind of how I look at it. To me, I'm investing in myself when I put my stuff on Spotify, and I'm making it easier for people to listen to my music, and
Mm.
access it.
Right. Right. Yeah, I totally get that. I get the flip side too, where people are, want to make money on their music. Um, so when you upload to Spotify, it gives you an option to charge on other platforms at what, $1.29 or 99 cents if someone actually wants to buy your track,
Hmm.
which I didn't even think was still an option. I didn't even know that was something, you
Do
could still
people
do. But
buy tracks still?
I mean, I don't know, but the option's there,
Yeah,
but tracks have been $1.29 like that for forever. I feel
yeah.
like, at least 12 years, you know?
But I feel like on Google Play and Apple, or
Mhm.
iTunes, that's the way they've been doing it, and they're not
Yeah.
changing.
Well, it's been like that. I think iTunes was the first one to kind of do that. And then Google
Yeah,
got into the whole realm too. But, $1.29 for a song, it's been like that for at least, 12, 13 years, maybe longer. I don't know,
yeah.
but I remember buying songs for my um,
iPod.
iPod.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it feels like artists have been making less for years now, you know. But on the flip side, there's people that on Bandcamp that charge, you know, still $15 for a whole album, you know, and there's people that pay that, you know, because they support the artist, you know. So it's kind of like, it's one of those things, you got to transition into streaming at some point, you know, because that's where all the eyes are. I mean, the ears, if you will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could see that too, like, because, you know, there's that whole like 1,000 true fans thing, and it's like, well, if you get 1,000 true, like, if you get 1,000 true fans, that means you probably have 100,000 untrue fans. You know, it takes a lot, you know, to get to those people who are dedicated enough to put down any money on it. So the thing is like, if you have like somewhere around 1,000 true fans or whatever, a sustainable amount of fans, then you you know, I could see where, if you're at that level, like it might make sense. Okay, my stuff is exclusively on Bandcamp, so you know, but there's so many people who will never hear in your music, and you have such less ability to grow if it's not accessible to me. Like, I don't know, but you know, Bandcamp is a great platform, but like, who goes there to listen to music? You know, just you
Yeah.
have to be pretty dedicated. You know, most people don't go there to go there even.
Right. Right. Yep. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Spotify's the place. I feel like it's the biggest. Obviously, it is the biggest place to listen to music. I think I think there may be artists on there that you can only find on Spotify. I don't know all the upload processes, but well, as far as DistroKid, you know, you can check the sites you want it uploaded to, and if you don't want it uploaded to a specific, you know, place, you uncheck it. So I don't know. It's kind of weird when it comes down to like how streaming works. You know, it just gets shot out to all these places. And, you know, man, I don't even know where half these places are, you know.
Yeah, I don't know
But
where any of them. All I know is YouTube and Spotify.
And Spotify, yeah, and Apple Music, of course.
Yeah. So those like few, you know, I know, but and I think really the point is the top like 3 or 4, you know, is the reason why people do you know, something like DistroKid. But you can still do Bandcamp. You could do both, you know. So
yeah,
to me, it's like, okay, do I want to have Bandcamp where, yes, people can come and listen, but most likely they're not going to come and listen, and they can only listen a few times, and then once they're done, you know, if they don't want to buy, then they can't listen or whatever. You know, there's different ways to do Bandcamp even, but you know, or do I want to put my stuff on Bandcamp where the people who do care will support still probably, but then also like have the chance for other people to hear it. Like, I don't know. I don't think you're losing much really by going to Spotify. I mean, I guess you're losing $35 a year or something or whatever. You know, there's 3 different.
Gotcha.
So, or $20 or what's the other one, 50 or something.
And Bandcamp's free, right?
And Bandcamp is free. Yeah.
Yes, but they take a cut of the profits if you do sell it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm assuming so. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like streaming and like Spotify and all this stuff, I think it's worth it. And that's the big question here. But as I was uploading to DistroKid, there was an option to upload to Snapchat's new in beta streaming service, audio streaming service. So I have no idea what that's like. I don't use Snapchat. But obviously Snapchat sees some sort of benefit in creating a audio streaming service within their platform. Maybe there's something about audio and streaming we don't really know, but these larger corporations are aware of it, that, you know, there's going to be some sort of shift where your uploaded music will be, you know, kind of dispersed a lot more than you think it will, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Um,
You know,
one other place too that they send it out to is TikTok, and I know you're not like a huge fan of
right,
TikTok,
right.
but TikTok is such a huge opportunity. Like if there's
Mm-hmm.
any place where people's music is getting heard to
Uh,
the common folk, it's TikTok.
huh.
Like that's one of the things,
So
and
have you heard music on TikTok that's just a static image, like the song you uploaded? Just a static image, no no person, just basically like you're just listening to a track. Because in a sense, that's all DistroKid can do. It just uploads, your track and the album artwork. That's all it's uploading. So if it's sending that to TikTok, have you come across that kind of thing on TikTok?
so what it is basically TikTok was it used to be called Musically. It was
Right.
literally a music app, and
Yep.
people would listen to it and lip sync to different songs.
Right.
Um and then it got big and people started doing other things on there, and there was lip syncing, there was shaking your butt and dancing, there was like all kinds of different things. Um,
Right.
and
Right.
and then they changed it over to TikTok, but it's still very music based. So, it's not the type of thing where you would typically see like an album cover and you hear like part of a song or a whole song. It's
Hmm.
only 15 to 60 seconds. It's
Okay.
meant for people to share stuff, but people are sharing snippets of music constantly, all the
Huh.
time, because you do something to the music with the music in the
Right.
background, or
Right.
however it goes. But like there's a lot of songs that once in a while I'll hear somebody playing some, just some music on their phone or whatever, and I hear it and I'm like, oh, that's a tick. I know that song, and I only know it because I've been on TikTok. Like,
Right. Gotcha.
and
Gotcha. Yeah.
so people can use your
Yeah.
music in a creative way. And I don't know, like that's, I think a lot of people are, I mean, I'd be interested to hear the success stories from TikTok, but I'm sure there's a lot of artists who have become popular because of that app.
Hmm.
Um, certainly wouldn't be surprised. And that being said, now I'm like looking at TikTok, I'm like, apparently
Where's
my
your
song's
song?
up on
Yeah.
there. I
Yeah.
didn't even,
Yeah.
I forgot to even check.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So how would you check? You just search for songs, or I don't, I don't use TikTok, but you just search for songs you're interested in, or
well, I just searched Planet Plex,
uh,
which didn't hear, oh, sounds. It'll go into sounds.
okay.
Oh, it's there. Yep.
No way. So what? It's like a 15-second version of your full length track. Oh yeah, I see
Um,
it.
yeah, it's let's see. It's let's see. It's a 1 minute, so they go to the max a 60
Okay.
second
Oh, so it's a
thing. So
60-second version of your song.
yeah, and so in DistroKid, I don't know if that
Uh,
it comes with other services, but you can set the time where it starts, where people will play on any, like, because iTunes does this too. They play a
yeah,
certain amount
like
of,
the preview section.
yeah. So you can have
Right.
DistroKid choose for you, or you can choose. So
Right.
that's actually really important for TikTok. This is a little
Mm.
little tip for those people who do upload to Spotify and all these places with DistroKid is, with TikTok, like when I chose that, I chose it with TikTok in mind, because I'm like, I know what people do on TikTok. Like
Got you.
there's usually a lot of times what they do is they'll do something in a video, and then there'll be a point in the music where something drops, like the drums come in, or a part of the music kind of drops in or drops out,
Right.
and they kind of use that as an effect to accompany whatever visual thing they're doing. So I did that on purpose. Like I put it in a place where it would be interesting to have a drop or whatever. So
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to make sure. Oh man, uploading to streaming services could be a 8-hour job. I'm telling you, because some of the research I've done, man, he talks about uploading, 6 weeks out, and within that 6 weeks, he gives you like a day by day list of things to do for 6 weeks to get your
wow.
track
To get
ready.
one
So
song up.
yeah, to get one song up. Can you believe that? It's crazy.
That is
So
crazy.
it's insane. And so, day one may be, make videos, short little videos that you can share on your socials to kind of start promoting the track. So you get, maybe 6 videos, and you hit your social with a video on the first day. Day 2 is a completely different process. There's a whole nother set of things to do on day 2. Then day 3, you might hit him with that one of those other videos, So it's crazy how he has it all lined up. But I feel like his perspective is more of like someone that's in the industry, that's working with a band that is trying to like push their music, for us, like small time guys that maybe are working a 9 to 5 during the week. I feel like there's a completely different approach. Somebody needs to make some videos on that,
Yeah.
I guess that's what we're here to do, right?
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
and I'll have to do more research too. But there's like, it's like not only do you have to find the time to make your music, now you have to find the time to make 4 weeks worth of content to promote your music.
To promote your music
Then
until it comes out.
The 4 weeks to actually promote the music.
Right.
All the while, like, when do you
trying to make more music, right?
Yeah, like when are you gonna make more music?
More music, yeah. So
after your 40-hour work week.
Man, you know what I mean? So it's just there has to be a different approach for like guys like us.
Obviously this guy doesn't have a day job or kids or a wife.
Right.
Car or like,
but I can definitely
even get dressed in the morning. I don't know, like.
But from his numbers and from his subscribers on YouTube, he knows what he's talking about for sure. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah.
I'm sure if you do like a quarter of what he says, you'll probably be better off for it.
Right. I think for us, some of the main things are just trying to hit those playlists. We may not be able to do all the promotion and the, networking and stuff like that, but just trying to hit those playlists by giving us that, that window before the upload. I think that's one of the main things. And then once your track comes out, or even, once or twice before it release, kind of hit your socials, let people know it's coming.
Yeah.
That kind of thing,
So they say to get it in people's playlists before it even releases.
Yeah. So I guess the way it works is so you have Spotify for artists, and apparently I take this with a grain of salt. This is a whole new world to me, right? So apparently in Spotify for artists, you can go in and tag your track. So I guess you can tag it with different things: lo-fi, experimental, modular. I don't know. I'm not sure what the tags are, but you can go in and tag it, and then once you tag it, it gets sent out with those tags, I'm assuming. So curators can see, okay, oh, well, this guy has a lo-fi track coming out. He says it's in this genre, blah, blah, blah. I'll set this one on my, maybe on my radar. When the release date pops up, I'll come back and check it out, maybe, check out the track, see if it's something I'm interested in. If I like it, I'll add it to the playlist. And I think that's kind of how that goes. But there may be way more to it than that.
So these playlist curators, they're pretty busy on a Friday then, I guess.
Yeah. Friday's their day. Yeah.
So speak about that a little bit. They said Friday is music release day. Apparently,
it is.
This is something I didn't know about, but apparently this is what people know. I don't know.
Yeah. So and I'm not the I'm not the knower of all things Spotify, but I can just share with you the things I've kind of come across. But so Friday is worldwide music release day now. I guess it used to be Tuesday, so things have changed since we've gone streaming. But the big playlists, like there's one called Fresh Finds. There's New Music Fridays. That's a huge one. That's a huge playlist. And these playlists are curated by like major record labels. So
Oh wow.
So if you think about it, like Sony, I don't know who manages Justin Bieber or who he's contracted with or whatever. But if you think about it, those big labels have Justin Bieber, so he's automatically in their playlist as well as other artists. So they get the big playlists of the new music that people want to hear right away. So these big playlists, they update every Friday, and
Yeah.
it's just I guess people just followed that trend. I don't know how it became on Friday, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
So the from the guy you were talking or listening to, you know, obviously he would be aware of, all the controversy about the money and stuff. Do you remember anything? Did he mention anything about like, you know, getting paid and stuff, or like, is there strategies to getting more money, or is he just saying how to get noticed? Or
yeah, he's basically just saying how to get noticed. I think when you get noticed and you're in playlists, you're making money. So that's
yeah,
I guess that kind of goes hand in hand,
yeah. Hmm.
So
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I mean, to me, I have no problem with anybody making money. I want to make money, whatever.
right.
But it's
Yeah.
not why I do it. If
Yeah.
no money ever comes of it, I'm still gonna be sitting here trying to make beats and stuff. So,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And I
um,
almost feel like the money may end up tainting it somehow. Like,
mm,
you feel like you have to cater to people and do a certain thing and stick with a certain style. Whereas right now we're kind of free. And I guess you're always free to do what you want. But, at a certain point you might think, man, I gotta pay the rent. So I better make another guitar album. If I do banjo, no one's going to listen.
yeah, yeah. I guess I shouldn't have bought that harmonica. um,
Yeah.
wow, yeah. So, geez, like, I don't know. I had another thing I was gonna say. Now it kind of lost it, but you know, it's all about making that music, and whether you make the money or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Uh, have you ever listened to like playlists on Spotify? I have. I don't think I have really. I
Yeah.
don't
That's,
know even where they are.
yeah. It's interesting because I have a friend, he said the same thing. He said, man, I don't really listen to playlists. So for me, it's a way to find new music. Like I love the stuff I know. I love the stuff I've been introduced to, but a lot of times I want to hear something new, fresh that maybe no one else has introduced me to. And that's where playlists come in really, really handy. So
Yeah.
there's a playlist that I listen to called Fresh Finds, and it's just all kinds of genres, but just new big artists. It's called Fresh Finds. And I mean, truth be told, during that playlist, a lot of the times I'm just skipping tracks. Like, okay, I'll listen to 30 seconds. Do I like this? No. Next one. 30 seconds or so. That song may take 15 seconds. Some chick talking about how, she's down to like, I don't
Yeah.
know, anything, whatever. Right. So I'm like, no, skip, and then so out of Fresh Finds usually has about maybe 150 songs or something like that every Friday, something like that. Right. It's usually about a 2-hour duration if you listen straight through.
Oh wow.
Within that 2-hour duration, I'll maybe find 6 tracks, really one really good one, maybe 2, but generally about 6 tracks that I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool, so out of about 150 tracks. But so anyway, that's what playlists kind of do for me. It gives me an opportunity to kind of find stuff new out there.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. The nature of music listening has changed so much, from when I was younger and when you were younger. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird. Well, I guess now with TikTok, it's actually getting a little bit back to the same in some ways, but like it used to be that everybody knew all the popular songs, like because the radio would be playing a lot
Yeah.
everywhere, and the kids sing
Right.
songs and stuff like that. But
Right.
now it's like your own weird little genre of music that you like to listen to, or I don't know. There are people still listen to popular songs. So I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's that way, especially actually it's even more that way with like TV and stuff.
Yeah,
But it's just weird, but playlists make a lot of sense
they
because,
do.
you know,
It's
I
almost
don't
like
know any
yeah,
new music. Like, how do I ever come across, like, for me, hip hop in the 90s. So what would I do? I'd
yeah,
come home after school and watch,
yeah,
BET for,
right,
I watch Rap City,
yeah,
and then I knew all the stuff,
right, right.
so
Yeah,
whatever.
everything's kind of on demand now, right? You can change it, you can skip it, you can go to something else at any time. So when we were growing up, it wasn't like that. Like you came home and Days of Our Lives were on, you were like, "Oh well, I got to go. I'm going to go listen to the radio because I'm not
Yeah.
watching Days of Our Lives." So like you would you didn't have options to just say, "I want to consume this." I'm going right to that. You know what I mean? So like the radio, you'd have to go sit down and, oh man, that's a new song. That's kind of cool. I like that. And it was a completely different time.
Yeah.
But
So,
playlists kind of go back to that, because you're introduced to stuff that you haven't heard, but you still have that option to move on if you don't like it.
so are there playlists for like, are do they niche down and stuff? Like, is there
They
stuff
do.
for like beat makers and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was on Friday, I was in the mood to listen to like lo-fi guitar. I typed in lo-fi guitar, or was it lo-fi? I think it was lo-fi guitar. I typed in lo-fi guitar and the playlist came up. Really good one
Hmm.
too. Yeah, no, some good stuff in there. Really good tracks in there.
Wow. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to look up modular bleeps and bloops and see what I get. I don't want
Yeah,
any
I get.
modular washes. I just want bleeps and bloops.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much I think almost anything you type into Spotify will bring up some sort of playlist.
That's
Unless it's
interesting.
like, something crazy weird,
Yeah, like modular bleeps and bloops.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's like a modular synth, playlist for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm definitely gonna explore that this week because
Yeah.
I think that's another thing too. Like, this is an intuitive uh, Spotify strategy coming from somebody who knows nothing. Um,
Mhm.
and that is, if there's anything you want to do well at, like say it's TikTok or Clubhouse. We've been looking into Clubhouse and other things. One of the best ways to find out what's good to do on that platform is to partake in the content of that platform. So I feel like it's important for us, to listen to music on Spotify
Mhm.
if we want to know what works on
Right.
Spotify, and listen to the stuff in our genre because maybe there's something genre specific,
Hmm.
that works, too. So
Yeah, that was another thing he touched on too, is like Spotify wants to keep you on their platform, you
mhm.
know, because not only does it keep you paying monthly, it keeps you interacting with other people's music. So one of the things he said was, if you like a song, save it to a playlist. Follow that artist,
Mm,
like the song, that kind of thing, because that Spotify keeps track of the things you do and rewards you in some kind of way. I don't remember exactly the details of that, but it's just like any. He said it's Spotify social, but it's not it's not directly social, but it is social.
mm,
So I definitely remember him saying that. So
yeah,
just engaging with the app, doing those little things definitely helps you.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to diving more into that whole realm, and of course, Spotify isn't the only thing. It's not the only boat show on the road. The thing is too is like, all right, so you want to make a living at your music, or I don't know, like, yeah, I guess that's what this is kind of aimed towards.
Hmm.
I would assume, like, so you know there was a video that Bryce shared with me a while ago, from Bad Snacks, and this is like one, probably her latest video still. I don't know because she doesn't upload like super often, but and it's about like how much did she make this past year with COVID going on and all that, and like where did she get her money from, and was it sustainable, and all that kind of thing. And you should definitely check out that, because especially if you're I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably doing similar stuff to what we're doing, what she's doing, in some way, shape, or form. And it's surprising to see where the actual money comes from, and especially when doing live performances has dried up for a whole year.
Right.
It's and Spotify isn't number one.
Oh, for her, you mean?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you want to make that's another thing, like why I don't really jive with the criticism towards going on Spotify, because that's a place where people can hear your music. But you're probably not going to make, if you are going to find a way to make money with your music, it's probably not going to be mainly from Spotify. I don't think for anybody that's the case. Even the people who are super big, like, they're probably getting money other places too.
Yeah.
You look like you want to say something.
Oh, no, I'm just listening to you. Well, I was going to say something, but I wanted you to finish first.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I guess, what we're doing here is, we're not making money directly from anybody right now, but like, we're promoting ourselves by showing ourselves and explaining our thoughts, our hearts, our feelings, or everything. And so there's YouTube, there's all kinds of other platforms. There's, real world things. I think she was even saying she makes money, like a lot of money from lessons and stuff. Like, it comes from all different places. So
right.
To sit there and criticize Spotify for not helping you get a mansion, like, you just have to. I think people have they have the wrong kind of expectations. You have to be realistic. Like, how realistically is it possible for a creative person to make a living? Well, it usually means a lot of sources.
So I definitely understand what you're saying. I get your viewpoint, but I do have to say I think some people. So if you're on Bandcamp and you have a dedicated following, and every time you release something, like, for example, let's take Prof Logic, right? So he's on Bandcamp hard, like all of his stuff's on Bandcamp. So when he releases something, he has a dedicated group of people that will spend $2, $3, $4 for a 5-track album, and that may be 100, 200 people. Let's just say 200 people all buy that $5 album. That's $1,000 every time he releases a project. And if he releases a project twice a month, then he's doing, really good for himself. Now, for someone from his perspective to all of a sudden want to transition over to Spotify, that's a heck of a change. That's a big shift. And, to promote himself on Spotify, or to say, hey, my music's on Spotify, go listen here, he's all of a sudden taking money out of his pocket, kind of thing. So I do understand why people would have a problem transitioning from, especially if they have that following, like I said, transitioning from doing that over to Spotify. Even though Spotify is a great place to go to find music, but, if his following says, oh man, I can just, stream, because they're probably doing all their streaming from Spotify. For them to come over to Bandcamp, it's like out of their, normal. So for them to just stream would be probably easier anyway, because most people were streaming. But, so I see that side too.
Well, it's tricky, I think, because people just use things differently, and like, I know that certain people, I could shoot them a Bandcamp link all day long, and they're just not going to go there, or they might go listen to 30 seconds and then leave or something.
Right.
They're probably not going to support me anyways. But if I make it easy for them, and say, go to your Spotify, and, I go there all the time. Might as well listen to it. Maybe I'll put it in a playlist just because it's natural for me. So it's like, like I agree. Like it's like, how do you make the decision? I'd be curious to watch that Bad Snacks video again and see the
Mhm.
difference between, you know, her numbers with Bandcamp specifically and Spotify, because I know she uses both.
Yeah.
And if she said anything about, you know, comparing the two or not.
Yeah.
I wonder, that's a good video actually to look up. Like, let's compare Bandcamp to Spotify, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
to
I'm
me,
sure
it's not
people on.
either or, it's both, you know, and you have to know what
Yeah.
your strategy is as far as promoting it. Like, you could
Mhm.
just promote the Bandcamp and people could find the Spotify just if they happen to look, you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not tell anybody that you're on Spotify, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's definitely true. Um, yeah, it's an interesting time, man, because even when you go to Bandcamp and buy music, you have to go through the process of, I mean, unless you want to stream it from their app, which is in my opinion, their app is horrible. It doesn't loop. If I want to loop a song, there's no way to loop. You just have to. It's just all bad, for an audio app.
Yeah.
So, if you support someone like Prof Logic or whoever, if you actually buy that album and you want to listen to something on repeat or shuffle or whatever, you have to upload that stuff to your phone through your computer somehow, and at this point that's kind of old technology now. Like, people aren't really doing that. You have to be a dedicated listener to actually take a WAV file and load it onto your phone so you can listen to it through the native music player in your phone.
Yeah, well, you can have the app and listen to it on there, but it won't loop like you said. Like,
Right.
you're gonna have to press play once in a while.
Yeah.
And the apps are it's a pain in the butt. And for
Yeah.
an artist going on there, it's even more a pain in the butt because you have your artist account and you have your listening account. So sometimes you go on the artist app by accident instead, like, so there's this
Yeah.
whole thing, and then you have to, like, you can't buy it on the app sometimes. I think, like, if you have like an iPhone, you can't buy it on the app, so you have to go on your desktop,
Right.
buy
Yep.
it, then you can
Yeah.
go back to your iPhone.
Oh
Like, you're
man.
you're right, the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah. Yeah. It's
UI
horrible.
system
It's horrible.
is not
Yeah. Yeah.
conducive to actually helping people. But
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah.
time,
I
there's
mean, and
music
there's
on there that that people don't put on Spotify. So
right.
me being an artist who wants to support other artists and stuff, I do
Yeah.
sometimes still go there, but
Yeah.
it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. And so I've supported lots of people on Bandcamp, and truth be told, man, I don't even listen to their music just because of how painful the Bandcamp app is to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't blame you. And that's just a natural thing though. Like,
yeah.
People are going to go to the path of least resistance.
Right. Yep. Yep.
And so,
Facts. Those are
you know,
facts. Yep.
that's like a lesson in and of itself that I think artists and creators are getting a lot more wise to. But whatever you're doing with promoting your stuff, you should always try to make the experience as enjoyable and as easy to the end user as possible.
Right. Right.
So it's kind of it's tough to know exactly what to do, but I do feel like we have a lot of avenues. Like, what if we back in the 90s wanted to get our song up on MTV? Would we be able to go to distrokid.com and like upload our song? And
Yeah. 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 It's a different world.
We have a lot of access at our fingertips.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, I mean, we're playing with the big boys. We're on the same platform that they are. Everyone that has access to their music has potential access to our music. So that's really huge. The playing field's very level right now. It's just all about doing the right thing, getting your music out there. I think one thing too, there's two things I would say: being consistent and singles, man. Singles seem to be where it's at. Releasing singles seems to be where it's at right now. Even some of my favorite artists have a hard time sitting through a whole album. I have a hard time sitting through a whole album, but I can definitely open up a a single and listen to that and jump over to another single over here, and just it's so weird how that works. It's like I'd rather get the variety from listening to a bunch of singles than the variety of listening through one album. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, there's also the classic, it's almost like albums, that format was actually not very conducive to the end user. It was because there's plenty of people who, they like maybe two songs from an album. Like they like this song by this artist. They even don't like the same hits from every artist, so there might be like 5 hits from Katy Perry, but you only like 3 of them.
Yeah.
So why would you buy a whole album when you only like 1 or 2 songs?
Good point. Good point.
So yeah, playlists are amazing,
Yeah.
in that respect.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and you can, even your favorite artists, like right now I've listened to a lot of Mulate, and he has a whole discography of crazy stuff that I love, but obviously I don't love everything. So what I do is I make a Mulate playlist, add the stuff that I like to that playlist in there, and now I got my own Mulate album.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and for me, I personally just happen to I just love the album format, and I know you've spent a lot of time listening to full albums.
Yeah.
But that's just not the way people listen, these days, or really ever. So, but albums were forced upon us, once upon a time.
Yes, they were. Yes. Yeah, now it's a whole different landscape, man. The single is where it's at. So I think these challenges that we're doing and trying to get stuff up on Spotify and this whole adventure we're doing is it's perfect. Like singles, we're releasing singles. We're doing, trying to do a track a week, and I think that's kind of where it's at right now. Like,
I guess a year from now we'll be able to talk a little bit more from experience and see what
there you go.
Some of this,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Yeah, totally. Did you ever like get deep into SoundCloud at all?
Yeah. Mostly I listened to this guy named Upright on there. No, but there was I definitely listened to a lot of your stuff on there. I listened to a lot of stuff. And I put my own stuff up there too. But the thing is SoundCloud I love it. I think I want to love it. It's great for somebody who wants to put up their music, even if it's unfinished. It's like there's a lot of stuff up there like that. Like, this is an experiment I did. It's only going up on SoundCloud for free. It's not a big deal. But now there's limits. And one thing I don't love about SoundCloud is the search function is impossible.
And it sucks.
I want to find, modular hip hop. Good luck, man. Like,
Yep. One thing I really did like about SoundCloud was the social aspect. Like early on, it was super social. Like you could, go and listen to anyone's track and leave feedback right there in the waveform, and you were able to connect with people. I felt like that was such a good opportunity for people to connect. And
you get such like deep feedback, like, oh man, this part in the track, like,
exactly.
Parts where certain things hit.
I love that. I love that. Now, it's changed a lot. SoundCloud has changed a lot. I mean, you used to be able to do that from the app, on your phone, but they took that away. So
they that would be a great like function for even something like Spotify to add, or like, imagine that. Like, I mean, why I'm surprised Spotify isn't more social, but maybe it is, and I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's too social, but like you said, maybe there's something we don't really know. A year from now, like you said, we'll be able to speak about this more.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't know if you've heard about this, but like the big fear, one of the big fears that musicians tend to have, and this is kind of another topic, but it relates to Spotify is AI basically taking over Spotify, like artificial intelligence, because
Yeah.
they create, you know, I don't know how it works, but there's like playlists,
Hmm.
and there's like, this is the music you listen to while you're like, you know, doing the lawnmower, or like this is
Right.
like
Yeah.
when you're running, or this is the one you do when you're taking a shower. Like, I don't know,
Mhm.
like, and
Yeah.
and
You
so
know,
like
yeah. I'm sorry. Go
also
ahead.
also this idea of like AI making music too,
Mm.
which is they they can
Yeah.
take a sample of like every Bryce song that's been released and then
And
create
make
music
their
that
own version.
sounds just like
Yeah, I've
that,
seen that. I've seen that. There's a website actually where you can go and listen to like tracks like 50 Cent that it's a 50 Cent type track, and you're listening, you're like, is that 50 Cent? But it's not, but it's a computer that's and a lot of it's like jumbly jargon, like he's not really saying anything. It's like every once in a while you catch a word in there, like paint or something like that, and it's like but when you listen to it, you're like, man, this sounds like 50 Cent. It's crazy.
Maybe
Oh
that's
yeah,
where
asterisk. I think she's saying here, yeah, but it sounds awful. Yeah, so yeah, it's
maybe that's where
crazy.
mumble rap comes from.
But to touch on the AI as far as like Spotify goes, so right now a lot of curation is done by actual people. Spotify. So the one of the examples is the Fresh Finds Spotify playlist is actually curated by AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in that sense, it's more fair. I know a
Mm.
lot of curation things that happen in the world of curation. People are trying to get you to pay for having your song on their playlist, and there's a bunch of nonsense and people doing shady stuff in the background. So more AI curation might actually be a good thing in some regards.
Yeah.
You would have like a human curated playlist versus the Spotify AI curated playlist. Which one's better? Who's picking the better music? Let's
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
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 Who has more soul, the computer or
Yeah.
the people?
Yeah.
Man. Wow. So,
Yeah.
so Asterix asks, how's the project going so far? What project are we speaking of? um, maybe, maybe she's talking about your album project or my album project, or I don't know. I'm sure she's probably curious about both.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the thing is if you're talking about those album projects that we've talked about, you know, for me, I've started a new album, which
Yeah.
which is the one that is going to be whatever these singles turn into. Um,
Right.
yeah, both. So there is
Yeah.
a squid, the Squid Chamber project that I have
Uh,
that I've been, I even worked on the album cover. I've worked on a few tracks from it. That's still there. But I have turned my attention more to the singles because this kind of came about, and maybe some of these singles will turn into tracks that go on to
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Yeah. For me right now, man, I've been really talking about doing that, little album, that project, but right now it just seems like Spotify and releasing singles is just something that is taking like more of a precedent for me. Like I just want to just keep making music and release it and see how that whole process plays out for me. I definitely do want to do one cohesive project, but right now I think I'm just going to release singles for a while,
Yeah.
and then maybe I'll do like some sort of full project. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've
and
kind of shifted my gears.
yeah, Yeah, and I would say like no format is superior, and I don't think
Mm,
that's what Asterix is saying or anything, but like
right.
um, you know, to for the audience, I feel like an album, doing a full album as opposed to a song, they're both super valid, and
Sure.
not everybody necessarily even has a vision for a whole album, or
Yeah.
even if they do, I mean, how many albums have you heard where they actually have a cohesive, even sound or whatever? I can name a bunch of them that I love,
Mm,
but
yeah.
there's a lot of times where they don't,
Yeah.
and so to me, I think there's something really awesome in thinking single-mindedly.
Yeah.
I
And another
think
thing too,
it's interesting.
it is interesting. One thing too, comparing albums to singles. When you're doing albums, man, that's a whole dedicated allotment of time where you have to just say, you know what, I'm gonna make a track. That track's done. Move on to the next one. And if you're doing 10 tracks, that duration of time, you haven't put anything out. And when you do release it, it's like you kind of said earlier, not everybody's going to gel or appreciate every song in there. There's going to be a lot of them they don't like.
Yeah,
So it's a tricky thing.
yeah,
You have to give yourself more time, obviously, to make an album, and that's less time you're in the eyes of people that want to connect with you.
right, yeah. I totally agree. I mean, I don't know exactly what the quote is, but I know, I think I remember it was like Wayne Gretzky or something, and it's like, I think he said something like, "You miss every shot you don't take," or
Yeah,
something. Like,
yeah,
the more shots you take,
right.
the more chance you have to
Absolutely.
make a shot.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we got another question here. Uh, what is your time on releases? I know you're concerned about album releases, but how does that work when you have a body of work? Hmm. I think you could probably speak to that a little better.
Um,
Yeah. So she's saying if you have a body of work that people can already listen to, like, is it different when it comes to releasing an album versus a single kind of thing? Maybe.
yeah, I think there's different approaches to either way of doing it. Um, and I guess for me, the way I'm looking at it is, and I was already looking at it this way anyways, when I was just doing Bandcamp with my Beat Sketches albums, and it's release one song as I make it, or
Mm-hmm.
like what I ended up doing with Bandcamp is I tended to release like 2 or 3 songs because sometimes I just wouldn't take the time to release one song. Um, but now with Spotify, that's kind of what I'm doing, because you have to create some kind of album art for each song too, which for me is that's just fun because
Yeah.
it's giving me
Yeah.
a
For
chance
sure.
to do some more art, which
Absolutely.
is
Yeah.
what I love doing anyways. So, but I don't know. To me, all so far the 2 songs I've made all contribute to an album that I already made the album cover for, called All Wrong.
Mm.
But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release each track as I go, up to maybe 7 or 8 or something, and then I'll finish a couple more songs, and then I'll release the album. And there's like some bonus songs you haven't heard.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, and then she asked about time frame. Like, what's your time frame? What's your timing on releases? Like, so right now I'm trying to do one a week. That's my goal, to do one a week. So by this Thursday, I want to have my next track, in the queue, ready to go. So that's what I'm shooting for. And to be realistic, I know that probably won't happen every week because just with stuff going on, life, like this weekend, I had some stuff I had to take care of, and that kind of cut into getting this track, kind of further along than it is now. So
Mhm.
I know there will be weeks where maybe 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so.
It's interesting. And you talked about like kind of releasing literally, like you might have got it in the queue, but it's not actually releasing for a week. So
Yeah,
there's that.
right.
Um, But it's interesting with what you just said as far as like doing one a week, but you might not hit it every week. Like I had a friend, my buddy Mike Emirates, actually, he said it on his YouTube channel, and him and I have done the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge a bunch of times, and so there was a time where he was doing kind of his own challenge, his own personal challenge, I think, and he was saying, I want to work on my comic for a half an hour at least every day. Um, you know, but if I miss a day, that's okay, but
Right.
never miss 2 days in a row.
Gotcha.
So it's like the same thing, giving you some leeway, but also
Right.
setting another rule. So maybe you can
Gotcha.
make that like never miss 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Right. Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That makes sense. I was going to say something else, but I lost my thought.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. It
yeah.
happens often, daily.
Yeah. So, I think it might have been songs in the queue. So, so right now I have a song that's been in the queue for this Thursday. It'll release. It's been a week, which is kind of crazy because when I think about it, like I haven't heard that song. Well, not me, but you probably. Well, no, not even you. But okay, let me put it this way: if I was to give someone a sprinkle of it on IG, right, a week ago, when it finally releases, it's been a week since they've heard it, if that makes sense. So there's like just now I listened to your track on Spotify and I was like, man, I haven't heard this in a while, but I've heard it. So there's that whole thing that you can play off of, like just giving people that little bit of a sprinkle of the track on IG or here and there. When they do go back to it, it's like, man, I've heard this before. Like, this is dope. This is dope music. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like you got to put it in people's ears now, and remind them, hey, you've heard this before. This is a good track. Remember? Listen to it again.
That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
And, I think, in our conversations with the group, I think Will has been talking about some interesting things I will create with kind of hinting at things and having some mystery around stuff and sharing a little bit of it and then sharing the full thing later, which that's I love that. And
yeah. So, and it kind of goes with that. That was the whole thing there, because so I was listening to the track I've uploaded a lot last week, and it's actually been, about a week since I've heard it. And when it finally goes live, it'll be like I'm listening to it with fresh ears kind of thing. So,
yeah. That's definitely really interesting. It goes along with her question with the time release too. Like, what time does to your ears? I mean, even as creators, and trying to mix and master stuff, sometimes you need a little bit of time there to refresh.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Cool. Well, man, we talked a lot about Spotify.
Yeah, we did. It's a good topic. Man.
Yeah, it'll be, like I said before, it'll be interesting to come back, even a month later, 2 months, just later, and after having some experience uploading and seeing what it does, and yeah, that'll be really cool to see. And hey, like, we'll have music on Spotify. Like, that's crazy. Finally.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
We'll have to make the Beat Brothers playlist.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'll happen as soon as my track goes up. I'll do that.
Nice.
There you go. So
cool. Well, I know I'm looking forward to hearing your track again, which I've already listened to it a bunch of times. And then your next track, like I'm happy. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun with the challenges. It's just keeping me creative. Another thing with the challenges, real quick, is that it keeps you moving. Like, you don't second guess. I'm not second guessing myself as much. Like before, I'd be like, oh man, do I like this? Maybe I don't like it, and just throw it in my, what do they call it? Your throwaway beats.
Yeah.
Just kind of throw it in there and just like it just disappears into oblivion on your hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
But this challenge keeps you like, you don't second guess yourself. You just keep rolling, keep sticking with it. And when you have something that you feel, fairly decent about, you just rock with it. You don't throw it away. You just flush it all out. And that, I think that's a good thing. Like before, like when there's no, there's no pressure on you, you can easily just say, I don't like that, and just toss it out and just start something new tomorrow. And really, you're never finishing anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
I get into that cycle a lot. I make a lot of beats that I never finish, but this challenge has gotten me to stick with things, make decisions I feel good about, and just rock with it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, like even with the challenge, I think both times I had a false start and threw away the thing, but I have 2 tracks now. I mean, one's
Yeah.
not uploaded yet, but it will be very soon.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's like, yeah, would I have had 2 tracks? I don't know. I've let weeks pass by without making a track for sure, so
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So,
Cool.
yeah, I guess that wraps up this episode. What is this, episode 3,516? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, man, we're like vets. It's
Man,
crazy
we're-
we did that many episodes and we still just are just now getting our Spotify tracks up.
Oh, I love it, man. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up this show. Marsh, any final thoughts, man? I'll let you close it out.
I think one of these days somebody's gonna call us out and be like, "Where this is really the 3,000th episode?" What? Yeah, no, I don't have any final thoughts. I'm thoughtless.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, with that, man, thanks everybody who's been watching along with us, hanging out and chatting.
Absolutely.
You guys all rock. And
Yes.
Anybody watching on the replay, please, like, if this stuff is helpful or interesting to you, feel free to share it, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It's really helpful. We're a growing channel, and I just looked at our subscribers. We got 91 subscribers already.
All
Isn't
right.
that crazy?
We're about to hit that 100 mark. We're gonna have a party.
I know.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do for a party?
I don't know, but all I know is that no one parties like the Beat Brothers. So you better believe it's gonna be big.
All right. Yes, we will party like it's something. Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody once again. Thank you, Bryce, as always. This was a fun show. And we will talk to everybody the next time.